Well, I believe honestly when it comes to SNK games versus Capcom games, Capcom games are more user-friendly. Like, for example, for special combinations, everything would just be a down forward, or repetition move. And more or less SNK is more of an intricate based system where to pull off a special move, you would have to first go to down to forward, forward back, and have a couple of button motions into the mix of everything. Like a perfect example would be Geese Howard, his Neo Raising Storm. That's a forward to back forward, and it's about maybe 6 compilation of buttons plus a down forward punch. You know, I don't really see a Street Fighter person pulling that off, and this is why SNK games didn't really get as popular. And another fact that goes into it is SNK never really diverted from their graphical suit. It was more or less like they gave you more bang for your buck gameplay-wise and didn't worry about graphics, where Capcom did the complete opposite. They toned everything down, took fewer characters out, and then made the graphics like a WoW context. Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the main reasons for me to why like SNK never really got as popular, but it has its community and fan base. I've been actually disappointed with most of the Street Fighter games when it comes to ending-wise, for the simple fact that it's like, I mean, we saw great endings for Street Fighter II: The World Warrior when it debuted in 1990, and we really haven't seen great Street Fighter endings until Street Fighter IV. So, I mean, Alpha didn't really have great endings, any of the Alpha series. The Versus series with the Capcom members, they didn't really have great endings, but I mean, King of Fighters, I give them hands down with endings because it varied on team, who was on your teams. You could have an edit ending. There was actually people, like if you actually put a certain amount of people into a team for storyline, you actually get more in-depth storylines. Like an example is King of Fighters 97. If you pick Kyo Kusanagi, Yori Yagami, and Kagura Suzuru, you get the Orochi ending, which is basically they go into the history of 500 years ago when both clans were feuding, and it's like a whole 5-minute epic intro like ending and stuff. So there was times when I used to live in Manhattan, and I used to go to the laundromat, and there was a laundromat, and there was an SNK game, there was a Neo Geo Arcade that had 4 games in one, and one of the games there was King of Fighters 98. And I would just roughly spend maybe $4 on laundry and $24 on King of Fighters, and it was just more or less like if my laundry was done, I'd have it next to me, and I would just keep practicing combos, doing moves, learning specials. My first adversary that I found actually when I was in high school at the time, and we were playing King of Fighters 97, and it was a Japanese import for the PlayStation 1, and that's when I actually found my first intricate competition, and that's what actually striving to get better, is because when I first played him, I really didn't have much knowledge or experience with the game, because this was actually in 98 when I first played 97.
Want a beer, by the way?
No, I'm fine. And he whooped me, he OCV'd me, OCV is one character victory, he wiped the floor with me in 97, and that actually made me want to get better, learning combos, learning different characters, and eventually being able to play with every character in the game.
You know what happened to this guy? Are you still playing?
I try to keep contact with him, but for some reason I got the impression that he stopped playing video games because a lot of the people who he hung out with told him to grow up. And if not playing video games is growing up, then I really don't want to grow up.